Hello. The title of this episode is Why You're a Pussy and I'm Not. It's also a challenge to find someone who can beat this record. My real full name is Thomas Kent Kruger. You can't touch me, all you hackers and motherfuckers. I come from a family of professional football players. But one of the things that early in life that proved that I was an extraordinary human being before I found out that my DNA is some of the oldest on earth. If you can see this under these lighting conditions, it actually, incision started up there. You can see this used to look really horrible back in the 1971 through, it's lightened up quite a bit. You can see the railroad tracks. It's about 20 inches. This is from a burn that was almost lethal. And I'm going to keep it aimed right on there. In the fall of 1970, I think it was the game against Palo Alto, my own teammate, one Kurt Anderson, who never apologized, never admitted on Facebook that, yeah, he broke the rules of I think the Interscholastic League, State of California, and team rules. He left his feet. We were both arm tackling and on an off tackle play, and he flew through the air. His feet did about 30 feet arc, and his weight and momentum hit me right there, tore out both cruciate, medial collateral, and only one tiny thread of the lateral. When I went down on the ground, my foreleg was out at a 90-degree angle. I popped it back into place. The team doctor, Dr. Mumbles, casted it at the hospital that night, gave me a few Darvon, and please, I was only 16 years old and actually very close to graduating. And even I knew that it needed reconstruction. We had a bye that week, and so I went to Dr. Mumbles and told him cut it off, and I went back to playing. I played 6 games, won 5 of those 6 games. Otherwise, Carmont High School, Belmont, California, who my fellow classmates really never appreciated all the fame and prestige that I brought to them and stuff. Well, some of the girls tried to compensate at the time, but I'm not going to name any names right now. But and some of them are so stupid they actually thought that I was taking painkillers. No, I played 6 games with no ligaments in this knee. They had a little phony, a little bad steel brace thing that was useless. Even the tape jobs, even the real high-tech tape job that Texas A&M used didn't do anything. And that was after reconstruction, but I'll get there. If you can find another soldier or athlete that performed for actually 7 more weeks, over 7 weeks before surgery, kicked ass, brutalized people, beat the crap out of people, and did it without any drugs, no steroids, no nothing, no, not even aspirin. And I was living with my coach and his wife, Coach Jack Lamar Lewis, now deceased, United States Corps Marine, was one of the first Americans to enter Nagasaki. And he knew I did all this just purely on my own ability. And here's my challenge to you is I bet that you cannot find in history another athlete. I should point out that this was an old baseball scar. This is separate from all of this. Where actually I've seen the inside of my whole leg as I've seen other parts of my body. Because actually I should give credit because we're running up on 5 minutes here. This knee was reconstructed by the great Lloyd Taylor of San Francisco at St. Mary's Hospital a little after Thanksgiving of 1970. And to my knowledge, this is the first complete ligamentous autograft reconstruction of a human knee in history. They may have done it on animals, but to my knowledge, Dr. Taylor had never been successful in any of the professional athletes that he caught on, and I had my choice between him or Fred Bailing of Stanford Medical, and I chose the right guy, Lloyd Taylor. He did a great job. He had to go all the way down to my ankle and all the way up to my hip to find material. He created 4 new ligaments using what we call a Weaver or Taylor's knot, just taking little bits and pieces, and he actually even moved one of my, I'm not sure it was part of a quad or an adductor, and stapled it down, attached it down farther down on my shin, but it's lasted me the rest of my life. Did great work, Dr. Taylor. I know you're either really up there in age or deceased by now, but I'm showing you this because I want to remind you, went over 8 weeks before, and no drugs, kicked ass, ran I don't know how many hundreds of miles, stuff like that, stronger than, won 5 out of 6 games, and that's why I'm a man. And you little boys out there, you sofa riding, I know you have very strong thumbs from like masturbating and playing with your games and stuff like that, but you're not a man. You've never been shot, stabbed, any of that. Oh, by the way, it's barely visible. I was going to show you a 38 slug home, but anyway. You're pussies. You women who think that you're as good as me, and you women that bitch about, actually, I'm going to tell a little story here. I'm going to go 7 or 8 minutes. By the way, when they reconstruct your leg and you're laying there for like weeks and stuff like that, and they're pumping you full of morphine, addicting you to it, day and night, I didn't even have solids the first week, you get horribly constipated. And let me just put it in some graceful terms here, ladies. I know what it's like to give birth to a 6-pound baby out of a hole that's not intended to have a baby pass out of it. I was in labor for 3 days. So, ladies, I'm sick of women and millennials and every generation past my father or me whining and bitching and griping about every little pimple on your freaking ass, having mental meltdowns, taking drugs when you don't need to take them. So, I'm a man, you're a pussy. I don't care if you're male or female, you're a pussy. Unless you're a war veteran missing limbs, you're a fucking pussy. If you got your shit in some car wreck, was all over, and you was doped up, you're still a pussy in my book. Me, man, you pussy. I'm at 8 minutes. I'll finish with this challenge. I challenge any YouTuber. I know about the Olympic dude. He was on the rings. He had a broken leg, but he was on the rings. His feet wasn't even making contact. Only had to make contact on landing. You find me one soldier or one other man that did battle for as long as I did and took no drugs, not even aspirin. And trust me, 10 aspirin will get you buzzed off your ass. 10 aspirin is as strong as heroin. Okay? So, me, man, you pussy. Me, soldado, me, soldier, you prostitute following the soldiers. You loser. Me, winner. Challenge you. Come up with the real history that you can prove that a man did what I did and did it without any drugs at all. Because no man in my family ever has, and no man I've ever met, and I've never found any history of any athlete or soldier or anybody who endured as much pain as I did for as long as I did. So, there's the challenge, and fuck you, pussies.